Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
General Hospital spoilers allude that Willow Kane may only allow Danny Morgan to see Scout Quartermain if she gets a Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos reunion. Now that Willow is in the motorist's seat when it comes to Scout's care, she has a golden occasion. This could turn into another chance for Willow to show off her manipulative side. Willow is designedly trying to hurt Scout with all this Drew Kane drama, but she knows Scout's going to have a rough time anyway. That's why Willow agreed Alexis Davis should break the news to Scout about Drew's stroke and also move by with her grandmother. Still, Willow stopped suddenly of giving Alexis everything she asked for. Although Willow claimed she wanted to stay until they knew further about Drew's condition, is that the only reason she pumped the thickets on Danny seeing Scout? Part of Willow may formerly be allowing about another strategy she can use to get her own kiddies back. GH suckers know Willow will do just about anything if he means she can have Amelia and Wiley in her life again. With that in mind, Willow may at least try to use this Danny and Scout separation to her advantage. Perhaps Willow will contend the only way a Scout and Danny reunion is passing is if she gets what she wants, too. It's been months since Willow has enjoyed quality time with Wiley and Amelia, so she's no mistrustfulness getting hopeless. Shoving Drew out of the picture through that stroke was only step one of Willow's grand plan. Since Willow's ultimate thing is being a mama to her children, she has to work every possible angle. Willow may determine that she can't pass up this tactic and contend that if Danny's going to see Scout, she'll need her own Wiley and Amelia reunion in return. Of course, Willow has a couple of options when it comes to pitching this implicit agreement. We might see Willow appeal to Jason, whose heart is breaking over how important Danny wants to see his little family. Willow also knows Jason has some sway when it comes to Michael, so she may count on him to make this deal a reality. On the other hand, Willow might suspect Michael will surrender if she takes the offer straight to him. However, he may feel indebted to yield on letting Willow see her own kiddies, if Michael is the only thing standing between Scout and Danny seeing each other. General Hospital spoilers suggest Willow may try to back Michael into a corner with another manipulative move, so stay tuned for updates on her coming stunner. Be sure to make us your favorite GH hotspot for all the instigative General Hospital spoilers, news, and updates you're looking for. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Tracy Quartermain will break in Drew Kane's house and make a stunning discovery. The week of January 26th, 30 will bring some marvels for Tracy, so then's what observers can anticipate. Tracy has been fuming ever since Drew stole the Quartermain family heritages, so she'll see a golden occasion soon enough. Drew is still in the sanitarium following his stroke and is facing a terrible prognostic, so there's no peril of him stopping what Tracy has in store. With Drew out of commission, Tracy will decide it's time to take charge of the situation and go get those heritages back. Just in case Willow Kane might try to stand in her way, Tracy may choose a time when she knows Willow isn't around. A blizzard is about to strike Port Charles, but that won't stop Tracy from carrying out this charge. Tracy will break in Drew's house and plan to reclaim the stolen Quartermain memorials, but she'll make a stunning discovery when she arrives. This discovery is set to be on January 28th according to GH Daily Spoilers, but the show SEO head pens, Chris Van Etten and Elizabeth Corta, offered up some other suggestions in an interview with television bigwig. Tracy takes matters into her own hands to reclaim the Quartermain memorials pocketed by Drew. An informational hassle with a squatter at Drew's house may open her mind to new possibilities, Corta and Van Etten teased. Willow isn't really a squatter since she's wedded to Drew and lives there. This squatter hint makes it feel more like someone surprising might seek sanctum at Drew's place during the forthcoming snowstorm. Tracy may find she's not the only meddler on Drew's property, so who'll she run into? It's possible it'll be someone like Charlotte Cassadine, who may try and fail to get to Carly Spencer's house during the blizzard. Charlotte might try to drive her auto over to Carly's and get it wedged in the snow, so that might force her to stay effects out at Drew's for a while. Also again, Tracy might find someone like Martin Gray rather, especially if the show decides to pair him up with Tracy romantically. Tracy might see another side to Martin if they get trapped at Drew's place together for a bit. Anyhow, General Hospital spoilers say Tracy will get a shock when she walks through Drew's door, so we'll bring you updates on the jaw-dropping news she's about to face. Yes, that really was Wes Ramsey stepping back into the part of Peter on the occasion of General Hospital, which vented on Friday, January 23rd. And while Peter's hassle with Anna was an acting daydream on her part, the actor himself did return to film the scenes, and happily so. It was a surprise, and it was also a affable surprise, Ramsey told the folks at TV Insider. Not commodity that I was anticipating, but clearly I was ready to step back into that world and do what I could to help out my old musketeers. Observers will recall that Ramsey first took on the part in 2017 and last appeared when the character failed in 2022. Of course, we'd presumably be wise to put failed in quotations, given that the Joe has decomposed further than formerly over the times. His first death took place in 2021 after a struggle with Finn in the sanitarium stairwell. Finn had contended after Peter, who had been holding the cure that would save Chase. When they reached the roof, Peter threw it over the edge, which rankled Finn, who pushed him and watched as Peter tumbled down the stairs. When Elizabeth appeared, she helped Finn hide Peter's body in a sanitarium freezer, only to find it empty later. This time around, Ramsey jumped at the occasion to work again with longtime scene mate Finola Hughes. The topmost gift and the gift that keeps on giving is any time I ever have an occasion to work alongside her, he admitted to the outlet. As for Ramsey, since leaving the ABC cleaner, he participated news in 2023 of a new design, having an adventure on position in the beautiful nature of Vermont. Doing what you love will always inspire gratefulness for what remains still in this life. As for an unborn return, Ramsey says that he'd drink the occasion. I'm always game to come by and play with my musketeers, he admits. While we stay to see if his rejuvenation unfolds, join us as we look back at a gallery filled with Peter's numerous crimes and those who wanted him dead for good, over the times. The air in Port Charles feels heavier than ever as a new chapter of secrets, shifting loyalties, and whispered threats unfolds, one that places Willow Tate at the center of a storm that could permanently alter the future of Drew Kane's family and the inheritance tied to his legacy. What begins as a peaceful, symbolic baptism meant to usher in hope and renewal quickly turns into a powder keg of emotional confessions, pointed warnings, and a dangerous game of strategy where every smile hides a motive and every kind word carries an edge. At the heart of this unfolding drama is Willow, a woman who has spent much of her life walking the fine line between vulnerability and resilience. For months, she's been viewed as the quiet nurturer, the gentle presence who tries to mend broken hearts and keep the people around her grounded. But something has changed. The softness in her eyes now masks a sharper awareness, a calculating calm that suggests she's no longer content to simply survive in Port Charles, she wants to shape its future. The baptism itself is meant to be a moment of peace, a gathering that brings together fractured families and feuding rivals under one roof, all in the name of spiritual renewal. Sunlight filters through stained glass, casting warm hues across the room, and for a brief moment, it feels like the town has found a rare pocket of harmony. But beneath the prayers and whispered blessings, tension coils like a living thing. Willow stands near the front, her posture composed, her expression serene. To anyone watching, she appears to be the picture of grace. Yet inside, her mind is racing. This ceremony isn't just about faith or family, it's about positioning, perception, and power. Scout Kane, Drew's daughter, is more than a child in this moment. She represents a future, a fortune, and a legacy that many in Port Charles have their eyes on. Encouraging words flow freely during the baptism. Friends and family offer heartfelt messages about second chances, about building a brighter tomorrow, about leaving the past behind. Michael's voice carries warmth and hope as he speaks of unity and love, reminding everyone present that even the deepest wounds can heal with time and compassion. Drew's name is spoken with reverence, his absence felt like a hollow space in the room, his influence lingering in every corner. But Willow hears those words differently. To her, they sound like a challenge. A reminder that in Port Charles, hope is often just the calm before the next storm. As the ceremony concludes, conversations splinter into quiet clusters. Smiles are exchanged, hugs are offered, but eyes dart across the room, measuring, calculating, waiting. This is where the real drama begins, away from the holy water and the soft music, in the low murmur of side conversations and veiled remarks. Willow approaches Scout gently, her tone warm, her demeanor inviting. To an outsider, it looks like nothing more than a caring moment between an adult and a child. But those who know Willow best can sense the shift. There's a purpose in her movement, a deliberate intention behind every word she chooses. She speaks to Scout about adventure, about getting some fresh air, about how it might be nice to step away from the crowd for a bit. The child, trusting and curious, agrees without hesitation. And just like that, Willow begins to lead Scout away from the safety of the group and into a space where influence can quietly take root. Across the room, someone notices. Maybe it's Nina, whose maternal instincts flare at the slightest hint of trouble. Or perhaps it's Carly, whose sharp eye misses nothing when it comes to power plays and hidden agendas. Whoever it is, the shift in energy is immediate. A subtle tension ripples through the gathering, and the warmth of the baptism fades into something colder, more uncertain. Outside, the conversation between Willow and Scout continues, framed by gentle breezes and the distant hum of the town. Willow's words are kind, even affectionate, but they're carefully chosen. She talks about family, about how important it is to stick together, about how Drew would want Scout to be safe, supported, and surrounded by people who truly care about her future. It's a masterful blend of comfort and suggestion, reassurance and quiet persuasion. Meanwhile, back inside, the encouraging words of the baptism give way to something darker. Whispers spread. Questions are asked. Someone wonders aloud why Willow felt the need to leave with Scout so suddenly. Another voice raises concerns about boundaries, about trust, about whether this is really as innocent as it appears. And then come the angry threats. They don't explode into the open right away. Instead, they simmer, delivered in hushed tones and pointed glances. Someone warns that if Willow is trying to manipulate the situation, if she's positioning herself as a gatekeeper to Scout and, by extension, Drew's fortune, there will be consequences. Another voice promises that no one will stand by and let a child become a pawn in a much larger game. The atmosphere grows charged. Old rivalries resurface, fueled by the possibility of money, power, and control. Drew's legacy looms large, not just as a memory but as a tangible prize that could reshape lives. When Willow eventually returns with Scout, the shift in the room is unmistakable. Conversations halt mid-sentence. Eyes lock onto her, searching for clues, for signs of guilt or triumph. Willow, however, remains composed. If she feels the weight of their scrutiny, she doesn't show it. She offers a gentle smile, thanks everyone for their kindness, and guides Scout back to the group as if nothing out of the ordinary has happened. But the damage is done. From that moment on, Willow's role in Port Charles begins to change. She's no longer just the nurturing presence, the woman who tries to keep the peace. She's now a player in a high-stakes game, one where every move is watched, every word is dissected, and every relationship is tested. The encouraging words of the baptism echo in the background, a haunting contrast to the growing hostility that now surrounds her. Promises of love and unity clash with threats of exposure and retaliation. The line between protector and manipulator blurs, leaving everyone to wonder where Willow truly stands. As the day draws to a close, the town is left buzzing with speculation. Some believe Willow is genuinely trying to ensure Scout's safety and honor Drew's memory. Others are convinced she's positioning herself for access to a fortune that could secure her future, and reshape the balance of power in Port Charles. One thing is certain, this is only the beginning. The baptism may have symbolized a fresh start, but in true Port Charles fashion, it has instead opened the door to a new wave of conflict. Willow's actions have set off a chain reaction that will ripple through families, friendships, and alliances, pulling everyone deeper into a web of secrets and suspicion. Encouraging words will continue to be spoken, trying to mend the fractures. Angry threats will grow louder, promising retribution for any perceived betrayal. And at the center of it all stands Willow, calm and resolute, walking a path that could either make her a hero in Scout's story, or the villain in everyone else's. As Port Charles braces for what comes next, one question hangs in the air, heavy and unanswered: is Willow truly protecting Scout and Drew's legacy, or is she quietly claiming a fortune that was never meant to be hers? Either way, the fallout from this day will be felt for a long, long time.